statement. Right now, I can't see anything. So.
Okay.
Green and muddy. I'm not going to be able to see the highlights either.
Sam Newis joins the party. Hamilton is there, cuts it back. Hamilton!
And welcome to the North Carolina Courage post-game show presented by Charles and Colvard. And how about Steve Malik, Kurt Johnson, President General Manager, joining us pregame, Kyle Prayer and the whole gang, and of course Jorge Acuna running the show behind the scenes alongside Adawita. I'm Dean Linke. Let's go to work and show you the highlights in this one presented by Mendy. And through 45 minutes, you could tell both of these teams didn't have a ton of time to prepare. It was hard to do. Early on, though, the North Carolina Courage wearing the blue jerseys, they were dangerous, but just had trouble finishing, right, Anna?
Definitely. I think a little bit of miscommunication in the middle of the field as well. I think it took the halftime for the players to sit together and say, okay, what are the missing pieces? I know we'll get to it later in the show with Jaylene touches on that. But yeah, they just needed to find each other in the final third of the field, find the back of the net, and play their game. And I think they were obviously able to do that. But the Portland Thorns really took it to them. They're clearly a different team and will be tough this season to play against.
There you see even the benches with one knee. And as we mentioned before, right before the game, all 22 players on the field taking a knee for 46 seconds as our match highlights brought to you by Mendy. There's the captain, the Kiwi, Abby Ursag. And finally, the first team sport action back in play here in the United States, the NWSL taking the lead. Well done to everybody at the NWSL. As Kurt Johnson said in the pregame show, well done with the discipline, the medical staff, handling all the COVID precautions to a T, and hopefully everybody comes out clean on this one. Anna, you probably got a better look at it than me as the highlights aren't totally coming through, but Lynn Williams was dangerous from the opening whistle. Break it down.
Yeah, I think the first 3 minutes of the game, she took it down the left field, got a nice shot off. Bixby had a great game. This was her first game playing in the NWSL, but Lynn Williams did a fantastic job. She took her speed to them in the first few minutes of the game. That's Crystal Dunn. That's Lynn Williams. Just a little over the net, but yeah, she did a great job taking it too, but couldn't find the back of the net. And then Addison Merritt, go ahead, Dean.
Yeah, that big tackle right there. My only thing with Lynn Williams is she'll see later that Kristen Hamilton was wide open and did not drop it off to her. But of course, you've got that goal scorer mentality. So Lynn Williams would get hers a little bit later as they found space. It seemed like a lot on the left side. Good cutback right there. And I like what you said about Bixby. She was good in goal replacing Anna French.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job, had some big saves. You could tell Lynn Williams was getting a little frustrated on some of her shots, but I think the left side of the field for the Courage is kind of the way to do it, with both Jaylene and Lynn Williams attacking Kelly out there on the right-hand side for the Thorns. I mean, that's where they're most dangerous against Thorns, and they knew how to take it to them.
There's the goal right there coming in the second half. Haley Mace had just stepped onto the field. Might have been her first touch and delivered it on a dime to Dabinia. Haley Mace, who starred at UCLA, went overseas and was a big pickup. They traded McCall Zerboni to get her rights, and she signed. And what a ball right here from Mace to Dabinia.
I don't even think the broadcast team had even introduced her on the field yet. Just the crazy impact that she had on this game. Beautiful cross to Dabinia's head. And Dabinia, she's a world-class player. She knew where to be. She knew where the ball was coming. And definitely at the end of the game there, she knew how to finish. Great cross, great goal.
Give Portland credit, though. It's 1-0 North Carolina Courage. You feel like a Paul Riley coach team. I got to admit, I felt like, all right, this game is over. But Portland said, no, we're ready to go as well. We're excited about this challenge. And Portland came fighting back with the equalizer, Anna.
They definitely did. I think Lindsay Horan had some fight in her today. She definitely was a leader for this team. She wouldn't let them back down. And they came and they scored their first goal right above Steph's head. Looks like it was fought for in the sixth there. And Simone Charlie just tapped it in for the Portland Thorns. But credit to the Courage, too. They didn't give up. They fought right back and got a goal. But credit to the Thorns and this new team that they have. They've done a really good job of coming against the Courage there for their goal.
Yeah, 9 players gone for the Thorns, and here comes the North Carolina Courage. Sam Mewis was kind of quiet, and then I saw her make the run to get open, and then Mewis on a dime delivering it to Lynn Williams. Lynn Williams was determined to get a goal. She is second all time in the history of the NWSL, and Lynn Williams got the winner.
Yeah, it almost looked like a little bit of deja vu for the Dabinia goal. I personally think it looked like the same kind of setup there. But yeah, Sam Mewis didn't have a lot of action in the middle of the field during the game, but she got called up when they needed her, and she did a great job of getting the ball to Lynn Williams there.
Yeah, Lynn Williams was there. Haley Mace was on one side. There was another Courage player on the other side, so it was kind of pick your poison, and Lynn Williams able to finish almost like it was at practice. Those are your highlights brought to you by Mendy as part of our Charles and Colvard North Carolina Courage post-game show. All right, now we continue our work, and we continue to thank all the great corporate partners because, Anna, next up, and you're going to need to break it down because I'm having trouble seeing it, is the save of the game presented by Coastal Credit Union.
Yeah, I think that was Steph's big save of the game. I think it was, I'm not seeing it up on our screen yet. It was, I don't know if she can hear me.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, cool. Do you want me to just go? Okay. You got into the attack a lot. Your fitness showed a lot in this game. So how did it feel physically to just move up and down the left flank and get some crosses off?
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging with the altitude for sure. It's been nice that we were able to get out here a couple of days early to try and adjust. But honestly, it was a little bit easier than expected. Our midfield did a good job of transitioning and allowing us.
Credit Union. All right, there are a lot of great performances out there. I thought Lynn Williams was outstanding, but really from the opening whistle till the end, Jaylene Hinkle-Daniels, who Paul Riley has called the best left back in the world, to me, she looked like the best left back in the world, and that's why she is the Charles and Colvard Brilliant Player of the Game. We caught up with her after the game, and Anna Whitty was able to ask her the first question. Let's go to that.
I don't know if she can hear me.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, cool. Do you want me to just go? Okay. You got into the attack a lot. Your fitness showed a lot in this game. So how did it feel physically to just move up and down the left flank and get some crosses off?
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging with the altitude for sure. It's been nice that we were able to get out here a couple of days early to try and adjust. But honestly, it was a little bit easier than expected. Our midfield did a good job of transitioning and allowing us time to get forward. And so that was very helpful, not feeling that we were just running 120s the whole game, but it felt fluid and good.
It's good to hear you say it felt fluid, because I've seen the North Carolina Courage be more fluid, Jaylene, and I think you would agree with that as well. But at the end of the day, you get 3 points. So sometimes it doesn't have to be the prettiest thing, right? You got the result.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think that was our best performance, but I think after an 8-month preseason, I think that was a pretty good start to the tournament. And definitely we worked to the last minute and it showed today, and I'm glad it paid off.
What was the communication in the locker room at halftime? No team had scored a point yet. It seemed like you guys just had one piece left to connect before you guys scored. What was that missing piece for you?
I think it was the final pass and just the final, shot on goal. I think Paul's been harping on that the last couple of weeks of just that final piece, like you're saying. And so I think at halftime we tried to make a few adjustments, figure out how we could get in front of the goal more often and try and get that final shot and ultimate goal up.
Finally, Jaylene, we've already got what we used to call it the Hinkle counter. Now we'll call it the Daniels counter, and that is how many nutmegs you got. And right away, you got one in your defensive third. I love the Jaylene Hinkle Daniels nutmeg. You're even doing it in your defensive third now, Jaylene.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of pressure, do what I can. It's fun. No idea.
Hey, listen, congratulations on your marriage and all your success. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks so much.
All right. Outstanding to spend time with the Colvard Brilliant Player of the Game, Jaylene Hinkle-Daniels. And I had to ask her about the nutmegs because, I've never seen a left back, and men or women, have more nutmegs than Jaylene Hinkle-Daniels over the last several years. And early on, she had that nutmeg in her defensive third, Anna.
I know, I saw that. It was on Twitter too. People were having a good time with that. Yeah, she played really well in so many, physically, technically. She was clearly showing that she's fit and ready for Utah. Even her in the back corner against Rocky, winning that ball. Rocky's a really hard player to defend. I played against her in Penn State. She's just a very strong player. She did a great job on all aspects of the field. Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Well, we were able to talk to the Charles and Colvard Brilliant Player of the Game in the Citrix virtual mix zone. And so you got this left back who's flying all over. The big question coming in, who's going to play right back, as no Merritt Mathias still out with that ACL, no Heather O'Reilly because she's retired and just had a baby. So they go with Addison Merrick, who is a baby to the group, the star from Kansas, the 28th pick. And she was brilliant, and we were able to catch up with her in the Citrix virtual mix zone. Let's take a look at our interview with Addison Merrick. The North Carolina Courage has been dominant over the last several years. They needed a new right back. In steps the star from Kansas, a rookie, the 28th pick, Addison Merrick. Addison, I give you high marks, big-time tackles against big-time talents. Lindsey Horan in the defensive box. That was a committed tackle, to say the least. Talk about that big tackle.
I know that I couldn't let the cross get off, so we've been talking about blocking the cross and making sure that they can't get in on us. And I had to do what I had to do. And I saw the opportunity to go down, and I thought I took it pretty cleanly. So I was pretty proud of myself for that.
You played in that defensive back line with, a team that's already played a lot together. What was it like to be in the back with the two Abbies, and what was the communication like? Did they give you any tips before the game or any confidence before your first season game?
Definitely since we've been practicing, they have been communicating with me all the time. They've been giving me feedback on where I need to go, where I need to be. It's like constant communication, reassurance that I'm here for a reason and I can do it. They've been very supportive and helped me see things that I can't see, so later I can fix it. They've been amazing to play with. I couldn't ask for anything better.
To steal a line from Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, you're not in Kansas anymore. You're now on the back line with arguably the best team in the world. What has it meant to you and your family to be on this team?
It's a dream come true. I've been wanting to play pro since I was like 5, and just being here and having my teammates trust me and my coaches believe in me, couldn't ask for literally anything more. Like, it's amazing. It's been fun, and I've learned so much since I've been here.
Tell us about your experience, just your first game in the NWSL, but obviously the first opening season game. What was it like to be playing in Utah? What was the first feeling you had when you stepped out on the field?
I was really nervous. I knew it was going to be a really high-intensity game. It's the first game on TV. It's going to be really big. So I was just focused on trying to connect or just trying to play defensively sound and listening to my teammates. They've been here before, so anything that they tell me, I'm going to be ears open, and I'm going to be adjusting and moving. I'm going to try to support them as best as I can. So.
Finally, as we wrap it up here, really impressed with your performance. I thought you were outstanding. And going back to that line about a difference from going from Kansas to this team, when you see what Jaylene does on the left side, and then you see Dabinia, and you see the effort of Lynn Williams, and then Mewis coming to live late. I mean, there's stars everywhere. What is it like to play with so many big-time players?
It's amazing. They always pick me up and tell me if I make a mistake, it's okay. It's just about how you recover. So there's no words to put behind it. It's literally amazing. Everybody you play with on practice is insanely talented. They're good. They just do some things, and I'm like, whoa. Like, I get a little starstruck sometimes, but it's definitely really cool to be able to learn from them, because I'm learning from the best in the world, and who couldn't ask for anything more?
You know what I have to say? How about the North Carolina Courage, and how about the new right back, Addison Merrick? Well done, young lady. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
She's so fun. I'm excited about her.
Yeah, indeed. And I liked her interview as well. She carried herself very confidently and was awesome. Now we need to talk about the hardest working player of the game, presented by Baker Roofing. And I was pretty outspoken. I know I was a little upset she didn't pass the ball to Kristen Hamilton, but I got to tell you, the work rate up top of Williams was phenomenal. And for me, she's the only vote, I think. I mean, I thought she was great.
I agree with you. I think she earns hardest working player of the game for sure. She definitely put the team on her back when it came to just being a leader and motivating people to just work hard. That's what this team needed to do to win. There you see she had her goal in the 93rd minute of the game, which is huge. Big-time players score big-time goals at big times. Is that right, Dean?
You know it. I like it. Well, and she's, the second all-time leading goal scorer in NWSL history, only behind Sam Kerr, who is no longer in the league. So I think Lynn Williams will go down as one of the all-time greats. You see Mewis come to life. She got herself in a good spot, looked up. There's 3 players there. She goes down the middle. Williams, Dabinia took the near post run, took a player with her. Williams is open, and if she's not there, Mace is going to be able to finish it as well. Brilliant ball, brilliant finish. How about the North Carolina Courage, and how about the hardest working player of the match, presented by Baker Roofing, Lynn Williams? The North Carolina Courage. Boy, it looked like for a while we weren't going to see a goal. Then you thought the Courage with that 1-0 lead, it was over. Portland comes back. And like I said earlier, it wasn't spectacular but it was another victory for a team that all they do is win games, the North Carolina Courage.
Definitely a dogfight out there. They played hard at the very end when it was needed. But yeah, I think it was a good game overall. They played Portland well. Portland played them well. I think it's a great way to kick off the NWSL Challenge Cup. And I think it was a great game to have on CBS for everyone to see.
All right. One little note. We do want to remind everybody, we will get you updated on Monday when we go on the road with 7 o'clock Eastern. We'll find out the health status of Allie Watt. That was the toughest part of watching that game, seeing her being carried off on the stretcher. It did not look good. We can't speculate. We don't want to speculate. Needless to say, though, Anna, you've been around the game long enough to know that that did not look like a good injury. Not that there's any good injuries. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Never a good injury, but just like non-contact injuries. To me, it looked like a non-contact injury. Those are the worst because I feel like mentally those are the ones where you can get in your own head and be like, oh man, I should have taken this step, or I shouldn't have done this or made this run. But it's not your fault. It's how the game goes, and that's how soccer is. But it's sad to see her go down like that.
Hopefully somebody will have to step up, because Jessica McDonald also still battling back from that hamstring injury, although the word is that at some point in this tournament we do expect to see J-Mac back out on the field. All right, we're going to go on the road on Monday, and when we do that, we'll be previewing the next game for the North Carolina Courage. Break down the next game for the Courage, Anna, before we sign off.
Yes, of course. I would love to. Next Wednesday night at 10 o'clock, the Courage take on the Washington Spirit. This is, again, we talked about this the other day, a team that I know pretty well, but I think this is a team that plays a lot like them. They're both really fast, fit teams. And the Spirit are a little bit older now. Last year was kind of their rookie season. They had a lot of rookies starting on that team. But with Rose Lavelle in the middle, they've got a really fast Ashley Hatch up top that I think will keep the two Abbies more busy than Christine made them busy today. And I think in the back, Paige Nielsen and Sam Staub will do a really good job against Lynn Williams and Kristen Hamilton. And they're going to have to get a lot of shots off on Aubrey Bledsoe if they want to find the back of the net. But a big match Wednesday night. Stay tuned for Monday night. We'll break down it more. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, Anna Whitty, great job. It's going to be fun to be with you this entire tournament. Reminding you that we'll be back with On the Road with, presented by Continental Tire, Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern, as we preview the matchup that Anna Whitty just broke down. Quick shout out to Uproar and all the great fans of North Carolina Courage. I am sure, Anna Whitty, the numbers on CBS have to be off the charts. Live team action, NWSL setting the bar high. I thought it was a great opening day.
I completely agree. I'm so happy the NWSL not only got a chance to play this summer, but they got a chance to partner with somebody like CBS. I think they showed up and they scored goals. You know, America is all about sports where there's a lot of scoring and a lot of, excitement. Sometimes soccer doesn't bring that, but they brought it today. So I was happy to see that on CBS, but great day of soccer. Not over yet.
Not over yet. We got a long way to go. Hopefully 7 games we can talk about right here. Once again, I want to thank the VP of Broadcasting, Jorge Acuna. He is working so hard to bring these to you folks. Thank you so much, Jorge. I want to thank Steve Malik and Kurt Johnson and Kyle Prairie, Pete Shonda, all the great folks as well. Megan and Bobby out there in Utah with the team. Congratulations to Paul Riley and the North Carolina Courage. Your final score, the North Carolina Courage 2, the Portland Thorns 1. For my friend Anna Whitty, I'm Dean Linke. We'll see you next time, Monday night, 7 o'clock, for another round of How About the North Carolina Courage.